On this point of being lean, one of the things people are most obsessed with getting rid of is lower belly fat. You don't have a pouch. That's what we call it. Me and my friends, we call it a pouch. We can be, very lean elsewhere, but still have a little bit of a pouch there. Some people think doing sit-ups is the way to get rid of that stubborn belly fat. What is the answer in your view?
It's the level of strictness of nutrition. And when I mean the level of strictness, it's not just in the foods that you choose, but the consistency with which you choose them. So how long can you sustain this really clean diet? And I hate the word clean diet because usually when people say they eat clean, it's actually the first thing, it's a red flag that they don't. But I think it comes from having a sustained ability to eat in a very restricted way. When men put on body fat, that is the first place to go on and the last place to come off. And one of the biggest areas for that, you mentioned that I don't have one, but I mean, as ridiculous as this is going to sound, when I start to see a little bit of fat on my body, it's right there. And it's because that is the absolute first place to go on. The shamefulness of how your body does this and what it does to us is that it kind of works from this top down approach. Like you'll lose fat first from here and then it kind of goes down and the last place is here. So it works in this top down approach. Well, by the time you get all the way down there, you've lost the fat in your face, you've lost the fat in your neck. So like, I sometimes I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, man, you're gaunt, and I hate the way that my face gets sort of caved in. But it's sometimes the price that you pay in terms of maintaining a lean physique, especially naturally, because that's how your body starts to lose fat. And especially as you age, you start to lose collagen and skin thickness. So it's even more of a challenge. But this top down approach is sometimes good because it allows you to start to see like the upper row abs underneath the chest. Or so when you start to get into better shape, you might have noticed this yourself. You start to see like, okay, my lower chest isn't as saggy anymore. It's actually starting to take some shape. Well, what's cool is that's actually that little spark of motivation that like I want to keep going.
I can
So
see the top ab.
right, I can see the top ab. Like there it is. I can see. I have them. I actually have them. I got a 2-pack, but I have them. Well, you continue down that path. Sometimes you sharpen up the diet a little bit more. Sometimes you take one extra night of socializing or drinking out of the schedule, and you start to see it go even lower, and you start to get that second row of abs. Then it becomes a question of how motivated you are to actually just continue and what level of sacrifice is required or is worth it to you to continue. And that's the caveat that I always say. I mentioned early on, like, you don't have to, like, you mentioned, how do I get to be as lean as Jeff Cavalier? But like, is it that important to you? Because I could tell you that at 10, 11, 12% body fat, you're going to look amazing and you're going to look better than 98% of all men.